What happens when a nuclear armed neighbor begins to collapse from within? To many, it might sound like a geopolitical win for India. But the truth, it's not a celebration, it will be a crisis. Because if Pakistan fails, India won't be popping fireworks. It will be preparing for chaos at its doorstep. Welcome to the bigger picture. Today, in our 31st episode, we explore what it means for India if Pakistan, our largest, most volatile neighbor, becomes a failed state. This isn't fiction, it is future we must be ready for. Any failed state doesn't collapse in a single day. It decays from within. First comes rising poverty, weakening institutions, political factions. Then the breakdown of basic services, law enforcement, and trust. Pakistan is showing these signs. Over 42% of its people living below the poverty line. Its Fragile States Index score rose from 89.9 to 91.7 in just 1 year. Governance is eroding. In Baluchistan, Sindh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the state is losing control. Checkpoints once held by army there are now claimed by militias. Civil servants replaced by armed factions. The people no longer turn to Islamabad. They turn to whoever offers food, order, or revenge. And when a country like this borders India, the fallout isn't local. It spills over. Refugees, weapons, ideologies. The question isn't just will Pakistan fail? The question is, can India remain untouched? Even with a functioning government, India has faced terror. But in a failed state, terror won't be coordinated. It will be chaotic, scattered, unpredictable. Extremist groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed won't disappear into air after the failure of Pakistan. They will multiply. Ungoverned spaces will become terror factories, which are obviously free from silence due to state's failure. Training camps, arms depots, indoctrination centers, all will become terror spaces. All out in the open. Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir will be on the front lines. What about the line of control then? It will become a sieve. Sleeper cells in Indian cities could activate overnight. And beyond the military, the real cost will be public peace. Markets will go quiet. Prayer halls become guarded zones. People will start to live in fear, not of war, but of the next explosion. Pakistan's nuclear arsenals, over 170 warheads, is its greatest threat if it fails. Till now, they have been controlled by a centralized command. But what if that particular chain breaks? What if rival factions fight over the silos? Loose nukes aren't fantasy. They are nightmare that keeps the world up at night. A dirty bomb in a crowded city, it doesn't need a missile, just a simple suitcase with a button to launch that missile. India's doctrine of no first use assumes rational leadership, but failed states don't have rational actors. They have chaos and fear. So then India would need intelligence coordination with the US, Russia, and even China, because in that scenario, nobody is safe, not even those beyond South Asia. When Pakistan burns, India breathes in the smoke. Foreign investment depends on regional stability. And collapse next door means risk perception shoots up. FDI could drop, insurance premiums would rise, supply chains in Punjab, Gujarat, and Delhi will be disrupted. Jobs lost, goods stuck, inflation triggered. Then come the main factor, refugees. lakhs crossing the border seeking food, shelter, and medicine from Pakistan. India must respond with camps, aids, education, and all. And what about those costs? They come from Indian taxpayers, not from war funds, but from school budgets, healthcare, ration subsidies. The fallout is quite but constant, a daily drip of instability into everyday lives. The Indus Water Treaty is one of the last surviving symbols of peace. Signed in 1960, it has endured wars, terror attacks, and politics, but it assumes two functioning states. If Pakistan collapses, who manages the rivers? Who regulates the flow? Who enforces agreements? Water becomes chaos. India may seek to use more of the Indus waters, but doing so could spark international backlash. Environmental instability trots downstream. Accusations of water warfare. Farmers in India would protest, states would argue, and a cross border issue could become a domestic headache. A power vacuum doesn't last long. China will step in to protect CPEC assets. That means PLA troops at our western border. USA will deploy covert teams. Iran will also militarize. Russia will hover. The subcontinent becomes a chessboard. And what about India? A king under check. Diplomacy becomes a daily war. One wrong move, and that's it. Global sentiment turns volatile. India will need to walk the tightrope, speak for humanity. Defending national interest should play both east and west without getting caught in the middle. And back home, the public watches the news, feeling more alone than ever. This is where the crisis becomes human. Millions could flee Pakistan, starving families, orphaned children, wounded elders, and they will look to India. Do we turn them away simply or let them in? Either path is painful. The burden on cities, on camps, on political discourse, it could ignite communal tensions, fake news, insta reels of paranoia, hate speeches, and the delicate balance of Indian society could crack. But there is hope. NGOs, spiritual leaders, civil society, and they could remind us empathy is strength, not weakness. And in that moment, how India responds will define who we really are. So, what do we do? Let Pakistan fail, celebrate a fallen rival, or prepare? History says prepare. Invest in border security, in intelligence, in regional diplomacy, because a broken neighbor is not a safer neighbor, it is a heavier burden. India's global dreams depend on regional peace, and peace depends on how we manage collapse of the neighbor. With vision, with calm, with courage, we can face the fall of a nuke neighbor. Victory isn't when your enemy breaks, it's when your peace holds. A failed Pakistan is not India's win, it is our test of strength, of empathy, of vision. Because in South Asia, borders don't end conflict, they just delay its arrival. A fall in Pakistan is not a safer India, it's a test of India's resilience. If you have watched till here, then you might be loving this video. Please do let the algorithm know by liking it and sharing with your family and friends. And also drop down your thoughts in the comment section, I'll be reading them. Thank you so much for watching.